Hello. This is going to be my second. I'm a little late because I haven't been feeling well, but this is going to be my second part of the um, Future History Project of Week 3. My second part of Week 3, which I want to talk about the two stories I read for the second part. I already did a video of the first part, the first three stories, and they were amazing. Every one of them was. The tercentenary incident was my favorite, easily, out of the three. But I thought they were all three just great, and really, really fun reads. I enjoyed these last ones too, especially the second one called Runaround. Had a great time with that, but I also enjoyed First Law. Very short story, and I've noticed that Asimov, he's great with 4-page short stories, five, 6-page short stories. He's very good with them. He does get a little bit of substance in there, which is got to be hard to do. But yeah, I really enjoyed these stories a lot. Let's see. These guys are called Donovan and is it McFarlane and Donovan? I enjoy these characters a lot, and I think there are quite a few of these stories that written with these characters. This is a cool story because they are on. I should have done this a little bit better, but I'm trying to remember what planet they are on. Is it? Well, anyway, sorry, I haven't done the work that I needed to do before I got here, and I thought I had. But they're on this planet, and they are harvesting a mineral, or I believe it's a mineral, and they have to have this in order to live on this planet. And the thing about it is they have this robot that they believe is foolproof because of the laws of robotics. Which the three laws of robotics are, in a nutshell, a robot cannot harm a human being. And a robot cannot harm itself. A robot tries to preserve itself. It has a sense of self-preservation, as long as it doesn't affect Law 1. And then the third law is something similar. I don't have it in front of me. I'm sorry. Again, I didn't do all the work I needed to do. Like I just haven't felt well. I slept till 3 p.m. today. Still having some health issues. I'm going Wednesday for an echocardiogram, and I'm hoping that comes back better than it was when I was in the hospital earlier. But let's go ahead and start with First Law. First Law is cool because First Law explains the First Law, even in a roundabout kind of way. Not exactly in a roundabout kind of way, maybe in a little too forward a way. Because it's not as well written as, Runaround was or something like that. But it is about this man is telling a story about a robot who defied the First Law. And there were the MA robots, which were some of the earlier robots, and who were not supposed to ever defy the First Law. But then there was one where this robot saved what this man thought was an animal, a vicious animal, before it saved a human being. And I found that very, very interesting. A cool concept, very cool concept. But it turns out I'm not going to go deep into this, because it turns out that that this was not exactly an animal at all, and this robot was protecting its motherly instinct, and I found that kind of cool. Not the best story of them all, and I'm not going to go much farther into it. I'm not going to make this video very long, but I had a good time with that story. It was a storm pup is what they called it, and what they thought it was. Turns out that wasn't it at all. I will go ahead and read the last line of the story, I love this line. What is even first law compared with the holy ties of mother love? Very cool. Great story. But Runaround, I will go with this. It's it's Powell and Donovan. That's the name of the pair that these stories are based on. The Powell and Donovan stories I've enjoyed. I liked this one a lot. I thought Runaround was an excellent story. Shawn was saying, Shawn D Standfast, who is heading up the Future History Project, is doing an amazing job with his research and his putting this together and all of that. Like I always say, if you're watching this, go watch him. Stop this video and go watch Shawn, and then come back and watch me. And Powell and Donovan, and I still haven't, I still can't remember which planet they are on. It says it here somewhere, but they're after selenium. It takes that to live on this planet, and they're there to harvest this selenium, but they have to use robots to do it. The closest selenium pool is 15 miles away. Or was it 15 kilometers? I think it was in kilometers, so 10 miles away or so. But they sent a robot, this robot that they had after it. The robot was an SPD model, so they called it Speedy because it actually is a really fast robot and could get this done quickly. So they send this robot out, and they keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and the robot doesn't come back. This is a work robot, but it doesn't come back. And so there are these other 10 robots. I believe they said 10 of them that were, well, no, I don't know how many robots there were. They were actually hadn't been used for 10 years, these robots. And so, but in order to have these robots go out to retrieve Speedy, they actually have to mount the robot and ride it. Because they were an older model of robot. I think they said they were built 50 years before this. But they hadn't been used in 10 years. But come to find out, these robots work fine. They're tough models. They do have some things that they were surprised that they still did, which I don't know if I like that aspect of it or not. I think I would have liked a little more of a challenge. But then again, it's a short story. But they take these robots out to see if they can find Speedy, and come to find out what has happened to Speedy is he has had some logic issues, because of the 3 laws of robotics. Some of them have kind of screwed up, and he is just running around in circles and spouting weird stuff, and they are having issues getting him back. So they do things like up the selenium, or was it the carbon monoxide? I cannot exactly remember. Like I said, I'm kind of addled, but to change his logic, and it starts to work. They see the logic changing, but it's not having the results they want it to. So it is about these 2 men standing and having a conversation about how to change the logic of the situation to make the robot perform better. And I thought that was just a genius idea, and it worked so well. And eventually they did get this to work. Even Speedy was the heat was starting to get to the robot. He was having parts that were starting to break down and things like this. So they had to hurry and get this done. Powell and Donovan were really cool characters. I think we're going to see some more of them possibly. I'm not sure. I know we're about to see Susan Calvin at the end of First Law. There is a mention of Susan Calvin. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, Runaround wasn't one of the longer stories. It was kind of in the middle. I would say 15, 20 pages, something like that. But it said a lot, and it really was a cool idea, which is, the number one thing Asimov is known for are his ideas, right? And they're perfect ideas. They're well thought out, and in my opinion, they're well executed about 90% of the time. I haven't loved every story I've read, but I loved every story this week. Even First Law, which I thought was flawed, I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed the story, and but yeah, if you can, please watch or please read these stories. If you have any inkling that you want to read Isaac Asimov, I would start with here. Let me get to the cover of this book so I can show it to you to let you know where to start. It is The Complete Robot by Isaac Asimov. I have it on my tablet. Sometimes I read on this, sometimes I read the book. If I'm reading in bed with the light off, which is when I do most of my reading, is at night, but when Becky's asleep, I would say, I like the ebook copy. It's really nice. This is a Kindle copy, but this is an excellent transfer. It went on perfectly. But I would say get this book. Start here with Isaac Asimov, or start with iRobot. Start with one of his robot books. I think his robot books are as good as anything he ever wrote. There's that one. Let me see if I can get a couple more here for you. Sorry, I'm getting so close to the screen. I've got a couple more robot books here by Asimov. I think most of what is in these is actually in The Complete Robot. I'm not sure, but I think. Got Robot Dreams. Isn't that a cool cover? This is an ex-library copy I picked up off of eBay a long time ago, and I just think that's a cool cover, and I'm gonna. And I like these ex-library copies because they come with this really tough material on the outside, and it's going to last me many readings, and I will read a lot of those stories over and over. And we got Robot Visions, which was not a library copy. It was got this one from Thrift Books on eBay as well. Pretty decent shape. Good enough to read a couple times. I might even reinforce it with some book tape. But this is very nice, and it's a lot thicker. If you want to look at the two. So yeah, a lot more stories than that, or longer stories or something. But there is nothing wrong with starting here with Isaac Asimov, with his robot stories, to get to understand where he came from. And he eventually in the 70s and 80s, I believe, connected the robot stories, the Empire, and the Foundation stuff all together. And that's what this is about. That's what this project is about. And read with us. This is fun. I mean, you probably will need to go back and read the rest of the stories, but they're short. These are extremely short stories. I would say we've probably read less than, in the 15 stories that we've read, I would say we've probably read less than 300 pages easily. And they're simple to read. People who think Isaac Asimov is over their head needs to start here, because Isaac Asimov is not over your head. He writes simpler than a lot of authors. I think he had one story in here maybe that maybe went in a little deeper than what I'm used to. It was one of his later stories, but even it is totally legible and totally easy to understand. So yeah, read some Asimov and start with these robot stories. Start with iRobot or something like that. You can get to the Foundation and stuff later. The Caves of Steel is in this, and I am excited about rereading The Caves of Steel because I love that book. It's probably my favorite Asimov novel, but my favorite short stories, I don't know. I'm loving reading these, so please just join us and see what you like. Give it a chance. Science fiction is better than you think it is. Science fiction is more important than you think it is, and it's my favorite. So try to read some of it. I think you'll enjoy it, even if you've never had an inkling that you wanted to try it. I would say try it and start with Asimov short stories. That's a great place to start. So I hope you all have a good evening and good day and good week, and I will talk to you soon.